Hi, I'm Jose Ramirez.
I'm Bob Arum.
Hi, I'm Robert Garcia, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
The only radio show knocking out the competition. Fighter's Voice Radio Show.
Fresno, California, we're live here in Mad Production Studios. I'm your host, Richard Ortiz of the Fighter's Voice Knockout Podcast. In studio with me, I have my co-host with the most, the one, the only, representing the 209, laying hands like Jesus Christ and healing the blind, the one, the only, Mr. SHELLY HOLLIS. What's happening, Shelly?
What's up with Rich? Thanks for having me in, my dude.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure, man.
Right?
It's a pleasure.
It's about time. That's what it is.
It is about time, man, but you know what? It's all about perfect timing, man.
Right.
All about perfect timing, because our guest tonight, I wanted to have him on before this big weekend, but I said, you know what, let's just have him on. I mean, because it's hectic. Let's have him on after the show, and let's do a recap.
Okay.
So, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we're talking about the one and the only, man. And when I say that, I don't abuse that term. I only use it when it's well-deserved. And talking about well-deserved, we're talking about the media relations director from Top Rank Boxing, coming off a successful weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Evan Korn from Top Rank Boxing. Welcome to the show, Evan.
I don't know if I deserve that sort of intro, Richie, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
You know what, actually, I was kind of pulling back a little bit. This is what I got to tell you, man, because I got off the phone today from, I'm not going to mention no names, but some higher ups in your office. And they said, Richard, he did an outstanding job. You did a great job this weekend. The numbers were through the roof, and I know you and your buddy Gardy Lopez, man. I mean, he's your assistant, but the whole team in general, man, took care of this, and very successful, man. Enough said.
Well, let me clarify one thing, Richie. Gardy is not my assistant; he's my coworker.
Okay.
My cohort, and he's in charge of our Hispanic media outreach. So he's on a level playing field with me, and from the PR side, you know, what we do cannot be done without him. But listen, a promotion like this, which from a numbers point of view is successful as the TV ratings bear it out today. You know, that's ESPN working tirelessly. Everybody at Top Rank, the logistical people. You know, so it was just such a team effort, and it's always great when the fruits of everybody's labor pays off, and it was a great night. It was a dramatic fight, and that's sort of why what I love most about this business when a promotion runs that well, and when things that can come out of it. You know, Lomachenko will be back. We'll see what weight class he wants to come back at. Looks like he'll be at 130, and we'll see what KP wants to go from here.
Evan, don't try to kill the whole show in one sentence, homeboy.
Right.
We got plenty.
I apologize, Richie.
We'll get to that. Shelly, didn't I tell you? I said if you step out of the box, he'll check your ass.
Right, yeah.
He said he's not my assistant, Richie. Let's make that clear.
I mean, listen, I know, but it was a lot of hard work by dozens and dozens of people. You know, I don't know if people realize sort of the work that goes on behind the scenes from ESPN production and all of that. So it was great to see everybody's efforts pay off.
No, that's what's up, man. So Rich told me this was actually your first event that you put on totally by yourself that you were in charge of. Man, what was that experience like?
I'm sorry, I can't really hear you that well.
Oh, no, so Richard told me that this was the first one that you actually led the whole PR team. So what was that experience like for you?
No, not at all. I've been at Top Rank for about almost 3 years. Okay. At this point, but it's myself and Gardy are the in-house publicists at Top Rank, and we work very well with one another because he's so connected in Puerto Rico and Mexico and now Honduras, where KP's family is from. They've really taken a great interest in it. So it's again just a real team effort in getting the word out, and ESPN did a magnificent job. Shoulder programming wise, using their resources to promote the event. So it was I'm still buzzing from Saturday.
You could tell he's on that, huh?
No, he's on point with everything. Hey, are you noticing any big difference? Are you doing the same thing you would be doing if it was like a live show with crowd and everything as you guys are in a bubble, or what's particularly changed?
Yeah, the only two things that are different are much less media than would be a normal event. I mean, we opened it up a little bit this time to about a half dozen or so media. And the reason it was that few is because we only have so many hotel rooms. So, only so many hotel rooms, only so much space in the venue. So we had some media, but obviously probably, there would have been a couple hundred, 150 had it been a normal event. So that's one difference. And, and it's business as usual, and just the job is getting the word out. But just the lack of media was the biggest difference.
No, I can see that being an influence with that. But one thing I can say that you guys are doing extremely well is like the social media game is picked up big time. Like I seen this fight posted everywhere.
That is, believe it or not, that's only two people on our team. Brian Green, who's head of social media, and Maddie Dobbins. They've been on our team for over a year at this point. They've really added such a great element to the social media game. We've got great graphic designers that work with. So, it's Guardian 9, the PR end, those two on the social media end, and our great designers at a company called Focalscape, and our creative director, Nancy Petosa. I could keep going on with names. It's like I'm giving an Academy Award speech.
I was just thinking that. But no, that's okay, because I was going to ask you, hey, address your team as you go. I mean, because they're always behind the scene, and here at the Fighter's Voice, man, we want to know exactly what makes Top Rank tick behind the scenes. And you're doing a good job explaining to the viewers, the fans, and the followers.
Yeah, I think it's just important to let everybody know that, like, listen, it might look easy, and I think one of the things that, before I got into this business and before I started working with Top Rank, it's hard to grasp the work that goes into putting on an event like that until you're sort of in it. And very early on, I got an appreciation for that.
No, man. I mean, keep it the good work. I mean, let's cut right through it, man. Let's get right to it. One thing I love what you do after every fight, whether it's a big fight, Shelly. I don't know if you noticed or not. He does this a lot on his Twitter account. You post the judges' scorecards, and you just let the media, just chop all that up. But this particular one, you could have really enhanced it, but you know what? You didn't change a beat. You just posted it like you usually do. I know there was a concern with some of the scoring. You personally, man, how did you see the fight? Let's get to that. How did you see the fight? Who did you think hand was going to be raised?
I thought it was a clear game of victory.
Okay.
I found it hard. I had it 7-5, but that being said, I think that's about as close as you could have the fight. I think 7-5 is as close as you can have the fight. I think 8-4 and 9-3 for Khetphet were also very acceptable scorecards. Listen, I'll be honest. Julie Letterman is a perfectly nice human being. I think she had an off night with 119-109.
Right.
I don't think she's been mostly a very good judge. I think like most judges, you go to any judge who's judged dozens of World Championship fights, you're going to find a couple scorecards that you quibble with. It's just the nature of the beast. Mm-hmm. I thought she had an off night there. I thought Lomachenko's work in rounds 8, especially in rounds 8, 9, 10, and 11, warranted more credit than he was given on her scorecard.
I just for me or just for the viewers, man, how does this work? Like when it comes to a big fight like this, how are the actual judges or picked per fight? Is it like a lottery? Do you guys have people in line for this, or like how does this work?
No, not a lot. No, it's the Nevada State Athletic Commission has the final say. Mm-hmm. No, it's not a lottery. I mean, they want the Bob Bennett does his best, does his due diligence to have the best judges judging the fight. It's not a lottery. It's who they think is the best judge. In this instance, Steve Weisfeld, many people believe is one of the world's premier judges. He was picked. Tim Cheatham has done a pretty solid job recently, and Julie Letterman was the third one. And two of them put forth scorecards that were within the realm of reason. And as I said, Julie's was a little wide. That doesn't take away that she's been a very good judge in the past. Mm-hmm. In my strong opinion, in the opinion of many on social media, she just had an off night. It happened.
There you go. You got the answer. You got the answer, black and white.
Right.
I've always said this. Whether you're a PR, a publicist, Shelly, you try to be the best publicist you can. If you're a ring announcer, you try to be the best ring announcer you can. You get where I'm going here. A fighter, you try to be the best.
Right.
Now, as a judge, you want to be the best judge you can. What can I do to improve myself? What can I do to make sure I give the fighters the best view, up to what I'm looking at? Ring generalship, effective aggressiveness, being really aggressive, dictating the fight, and there's a lot of factors in there too. But I'm thinking, with no crowd there and it's just you in the bubble, I would think that I know we're all human, that you wouldn't have such a night as that was displayed.
You're talking about no fan noise to influence
exactly,
your decisions.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to wonder, how tactical it is. You know, what are they watching? So.
But again, you're watching a fight. You don't want to get caught up watching it. You're there to do a job too. Sure. And I can imagine being a human being and knowing that, hey, they're watching every single thing, and it's my job to come up with the best scorecard possible. Mm-hmm. But you know what, Evan? It could be worse. Without mentioning any names, there's a judge that's going to be on the hot seat, my man. I mean, he was caught. There was a live fight, and he's there looking at his cell phone.
Oh yeah, I just.
It was all over social media.
Actually, a correction there. It looked like a cell phone, but I don't believe it was a cell phone. That was in the National show over the weekend. It might have been a score sheet, but it kind of looked like a cell phone. Okay. So in fairness to that particular judge.
Okay, almost like a pitch count, like a coach would do.
In fairness to that judge, he should, the British Boxing Board of Control is going to call him for a meeting, and we'll let them determine that then. But it's not, from what I hear, and it might not have necessarily been a cell phone, so it's not fair to say that with certainty.
Well, okay, that's safe as well. I mean, people do pass judgment, people do, and that's one thing about media. I'm going off because the one who posted it is a very well respected individual. I didn't go off some networker, what have you. So I just went off it that way.
I know what you're talking about, but no, I mean, I think.
See, he even knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah.
No, I saw the post, and that's how it started, and I think the bigger problem was. That particular scorecard, within Team 111 for Lewis Ritson, was, I thought, an even more egregious scorecard somehow than the 119-109 for Lopez. So his scorecard is what should be, what should be litigated, and let's see what they do over there in Great Britain.
Nice.
Exactly. Listen, I'm going to start this off, and I'm going to let Shelly jump in right now, man. Okay, let's talk about the winner here, man. I mean, Teofimo, the Takeover Lopez. I mean, I nicknamed his dad the prophet of boxing because whatever he says, man, it comes to an existence. He gives it life. And you know what? At the end of the day, his son had to get in the ring, and he took care of business. He put on a display of courage, will, tenacity, and just being the youth in today's fighters. They're the future, man. And we got a whole young generation, and he gave them all props. We're talking about Shakur Stevenson. We're talking about, even Ryan Garcia, Gabe Flores Jr. We're talking about all the new signings that have Top Rank have signed and other big networks have signed. Now, you mentioned right off the bat that he would probably, you'd like to see him back at 135, if I heard correctly, before he moves up to 140. Is that what's planned out?
No, I mean, listen, that's up to his team, and
okay.
They're obviously both are possibilities, but he's about to go on a couple weeks vacation. We'll let him enjoy his vacation, and him and his team, and the higher ups at Top Rank will decide what's next. I think whether he stays at 135 or goes up to 140 immediately, there are a lot of good options for him, and everybody's going to be excited to see what he does next. So, as am I.
Oh, yeah, exactly. All eyes on him. Okay. Shelly, what do you think he's going to do? What would be the best thing to do? If you were Team Lopez, what would you advise him to do next?
I'd do the same thing he's doing. He's calling out names. I mean, the dude just beat Lomo, and the first name that comes out of his mouth is Devin Haney.
Devin Haney.
You know what I'm saying? Then he brings up Davis in an interview. Like, he's reshaping.
I want to see that one.
He's reshaping boxing. You know what I mean? A lot of guys try to take, like we said, everybody uses Mayweather, but it's true.
Yeah.
Everybody thought they was there before they got there, and he put it online. He said, I'm going after best to be the best. So for him to call out those names, he's like, why wait till it builds up? You guys got to come to me.
Yeah.
That's the kind of fighter I want to follow.
Well, he's definitely in the driver's seat right now, and well-deserved, Evan. Knowing the dad, I mean, did he get amplified for this fight, or is that just Teofimo Sr.? Is that him on an everyday relationship?
No, I mean, he was calmer in interviews in this fight. And I asked him, about a day or two before the fight in the bubble. I said, Senior, you're, different Senior. He's like, bro, we got the fight. Why do I gotta act out?
That's smart. Yeah, that's right.
He's really a unique individual, and I'll admit, when I met him in early 2018, and he's talking all this stuff about Loma, and I'm thinking to myself, he's hated your son 7-0, 8-0, but he saw something. I mean, we all saw how special Teofimo was. That wasn't a secret. But he saw something. This son, he saw something. He called his shot, and he called himself the Nostradamus of boxing, and that is 100% true.
Yeah,
it really is. You have to give him his full credit at this point. He willed this into existence. He really did.
Yeah, they definitely. I think like most people have you have goals or you have like vision boards and things like that. Dude, they verbally said that shit.
Yeah,
they've been saying it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And you got to respect that. You know what I mean? It goes back to Ali saying, "I'm the greatest." Those people that have talked their way into the existence of who they are. What can you do with that?
I had the honor of talking to Brad Goodman today. He also told me to tell you, great job, Evan. He told me to tell you, you heard it from the man himself, and he said, he said, Richard, this guy. No, he said everything that he said has come to pass. And what I told him was, don't let off the gas pedal just yet. I'm curious to see what he does his next fight. I'm not giving reference to, maybe he's going to ease up, but he needs to treat every fight from now on like Lomachenko. Because if that's what puts the fire in him, that desire, he's capable of doing the incredible, because he showed the whole world what he's made of. But his victory, Evan, and then we're going to give Lomachenko some props too, but Lopez's victory was great for boxing. I mean, let's think about it. I mean, when he does defend, because I think he's going to defend. I mean, the man deserves to walk in with all 4 bouts, if not 5, counting the Ring magazine. He's dreaming of making that entrance. Maybe 1 defense, but when he moves up to 140, it's not going to be an easy division, but styles make fights, and some of the names that are out there, every time I talk to him, I mention Jose Ramirez, and he was nothing but respectful and said, I would love to fight him because what he brings to the table. But also, there's one name out there that I'd love to see him share the ring with, and there's not a confirmation just yet with him and Manny Pacquiao, but I'm talking about Mikey Garcia. What's your take on that, Evan, and what do you think's going to happen, Shelly?
Oh, Evan.
Listen, I don't know. I wish I had more answers for you. Maybe by the time he goes up to 40, Jose and Josh Taylor happens, and they both go up to welterweight. So it's still so much to be determined, and we'll have to wait and see. If I knew, I probably couldn't say anything, but I really don't know.
Well, that's what I said. Okay, I wanted to make sure that you really didn't know, because I do respect and I do know you sit at those tables or have exactly what you're doing. That's why you're one of the best in what you're doing, my man. So yeah, I just had to ask those questions, man, and I didn't mean to spill in your ear now.
No, of course, no. There's still so much to be determined. I think everybody's still. I think everybody's still basking in the glow of the afterglow of the victory,
Yeah. What was your take on the whole fight, Shelly? I mean, I know you know it was a tough fight, but did it pan out exactly the way you think it would have?
No, it didn't.
You were thinking
it didn't. Just too much control with Teofimo. You know what I'm saying? It was just interesting for me. I guess I got caught up with everything I seen Loma do before too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I figured with the people that he fought before him, I was gonna see flashes of that. And I didn't, not until those later rounds, you know what I mean? But then just respectively knowing boxing, I was just amazed by how Teofimo flipped his whole script.
Yeah.
Everybody was so used to him being flashy and taking big shots. Dude, he killed that shit with that jab and those body punches.
Those body shots.
Control.
I like the sneaky counter with the uppercut.
Yeah.
That was definitely a game plan.
It let you, what I seen was all that shit they were talking about, how they wanted him, man, they've been studying that dude for years.
Yeah.
He knew exactly. If he looked too comfortable in the ring with him. But when you obsess over somebody like that and that's your goal, you pull it off.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I seen.
Exactly, because many nights, as you know, Evan, you probably take that to bed with you and wake up in the morning with it. You're obsessed with that dude. And going in there, he actually believed that he was going to win. I mean, he was so focused, determined, and the rest was history, man. He put on a great Picasso for us, a great painting. He laid down the foundation, which was actually laid down by his dad. And now his dad could probably, just relax a little bit now. And they're definitely in the driver's seat. What I want to say about Lomachenko, let's give props to him, Shelly. I mean, we're talking about a natural 126 pounder, moves up to 130s, and no, 135s. He dared himself to be great. I know he was concerned with the power. He showed that. I believe that's why the late start and also those body shots. But when he had to put himself in the pocket, he did so and did so well.
Yeah, he did do so. And then, and then going back, flipping to Teofimo too, I haven't seen a lot of people that thought they were ahead on the scorecards choose to close some shit out like that. And he went for it.
Exactly.
A lot of guys, I ain't gonna, Thurman,
he didn't let off the pedal.
I seen Thurman let off the pedal. Sometimes I've watched guys where I think it's a close fight and they let off, and I'm like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
I like that dog.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking of Oscar De La Hoya trying to cruise against Trinidad. I'm thinking of Tommy Hearns trying to cruise against Sugar Ray Leonard, ends up getting a draw. You know what, Evan, we're going to move on the list here, man, but you know what? Let's recap that whole night. First of all, you had ringside seats. It doesn't get any better than that. I mean, you were right there, well-deserved. But let's talk about this knockout artist, man, Edgar Berlanga, man. I mean, he's just, and he runs deep. He don't just know people. People know him. I mean, he's chilling with Fat Joe, Snoop Dogg. I heard even Donald Trump was going to try to send him a text, man. And he is just a well-liked, loved individual, man. I mean, talk about the future pride of Puerto Rico. What's your take on this cat?
He's got an it factor, that's for sure. I don't know how the heck he knows all these celebrities, but he does. I can't answer that question, but he knows them somehow, and he's got an it factor. I think he has a great trainer in Andre Rozier, and I know he's always in shape to go to 10 or 12, the 8 rounds, whatever. He hasn't had to go to the second yet. I think I know what I admire about him is he himself wants to prove to everybody. He wants to go and get out. He doesn't want this first round knockout streak to go on forever.
Yeah.
He wants to show people that all the tools in his arsenal. But we keep giving him better and better opponents. I know Brad Goodman you mentioned. He expected Linnell Bells to go more than one round. And it's a credit to Edgar that he knocked out a guy in one round who had never been knocked out before, and who had fought pretty good fighters. In his career. So full credit to Edgar for whacking out a guy who's normally durable.
Shelly, he has a following as if he's a world champion already.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah. Right, but then within his culture too, though.
Yeah.
They celebrate their own.
It's huge.
It's huge. Boxing's huge.
It's huge. But look at the lineup. You got people calling him. I mean, he's having dinner with, and he exactly has that it factor, man. I mean, you know what? You guys don't even have to do anything. It's starting to market itself, Evan.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's got an it factor, and once we're allowed to open up arenas and stuff, we've got a lot of great Puerto Rican stars that are going to fill up Madison Square Garden. That's for darn sure.
You guys are ready for that.
New York's gonna be crazy.
Oh, Puerto Rico all day long, man.
Damn, man, that's gonna be New York would be crazy.
It is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, they got to do a huge Puerto Rican card.
Evan got a big smile right now because he's just waiting for this this virus to go away, man. And you guys are gonna just fill the garden big time.
Listen, Edgar Berlanga, Zander Zayas,
yep.
A lot of great young Puerto Rican fighters that are sort of the future of the islands for sure.
The 15-year-old, right? That was signed. He was signed at 15.
Zander? 16 years old. Yes,
16.
correct.
Yeah. That was he was after Flores. That's right. Yeah, and I like that kid a lot.
I do too, man. I do too. And you know what? He has man strength already at that age.
Yeah, he got some pop.
Yeah, he does. And that goes a long way. Let's talk about that co-main event, man. I mean, Arnold Barboza Jr. I mean, he came to fight. Mm-hmm. He came to fight. I first met him in Lomachenko undercard when he was in L.A. And, he came out with his Kobe Bryant jersey back in the day. But even though he suffered that knockdown, and then good job by Joe Cortez, by the way, to rule at a knockdown. It was a knockdown. Timothy Bradley was all over that.
Right.
But he didn't let that dictate the fight. He got up and went back to his game plan, and that was sitting in the pocket and go to the body. What was your whole take on that fight, Evan?
Yeah, Barboza's just a guy who's grinded. He's trusted the process, trusted in our matchmakers, and now he's, pretty darn close to a title shot. Him and Alex are two of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in the sport. So you're watching that fight, and you're going to feel great for. This is the case with oftentimes when two of our fighters fight. You'll feel great for the winner, but you also feel for the loser. And when I say there's no nicer fighter in the sport that I've met than Alex Saucedo. I mean that. He's a real sweetheart of a guy, as is Arnold Barboza. So watching them, it was a little tough, and then as they're going at it, that's also tough.
Yeah,
that's not my favorite thing to do. You build relationships with these kids, and that's the tough part of it. But it was a great fight, and Arnold's on deck for something big soon.
Yeah, Alex actually reminds me of Santa Cruz. Just real nice people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, real soft-spoken.
Real soft-spoken, nice people and things like that.
Arnold reminds me of Jose and Ramirez in a way. Just soft-spoken, lets his fist do the talking, and just a good dude. Just like Alex said it was.
Yeah, the only thing that threw me off at that fight at the very beginning was just like the switch up in stance. You know what I mean? Then once I seen him, I was like, what the hell is that? But then in the later rounds, he looked like himself again. But that could have been strategically, you know what I mean? Just to mix it up for them.
Exactly.
Know?
I mean, Ward and Timothy Bradley, they didn't understand why he was doing that because it wasn't really effective. It was just he wanted to show a different look.
Right, and then you got fighters that can pull this shit off, like Bud. Yeah, Bud is notorious for it and does it well.
Yeah, well, I mean, you go back. I mean, the ones that are successful, you got Bud Crawford, Marvin Hagler, conventional fighters, and it's just like you got a switch hitter in baseball, man. And they don't do it just to show off. They do it because they can, and they can make that adjustment. Whether it's an injury or a cut on the eye, and they're able to make that adjustment and be successful, man. Listen, I would like to see him and Cepeda go at it. That'd be a war right there.
There's a lot of matchups at 140. Barboza with Cepeda. Obviously Jose and Josh on a collision course, and young guys like Josue Vargas. Really deep division there, and especially in the top ranked stable. So, Jose Pedraza. So we can mix and match a lot of things there.
Hey Evan, let me throw a kid at you real quick. Just what you guys think about him, man. Everybody loving Elvis, man. How do you feel about the kid?
I think he's got the potential to be special. Like every young kid, you hope they handle success. This is not meant toward anything negative towards Elvis. It's just a general thing. All young kids, when they get the attention, it's how they handle it and how they handle success and how they handle money.
That clock, please.
But Elvis has the potential to be a really, really special fighter.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you took that one out of me, man. No, I mean, Wildcard, they love him. Freddie says, this guy is definitely my future. And whenever Freddie starts to, or anybody else, I don't want to use the word get tired, somebody like Elvis, I mean, he just shows up and re-energizes him, brings him back to that fountain of youth. I mean, we're talking about, like the Manny Pacquiao's and Miguel Cotto's, and just because you got something to look forward to and something that drives you. And he's full of energy, man. And 1 week, 2 week notice, he's ready to go.
Yeah, give it up to Freddie too, man. He has a
Absolutely.
He has a way of finding them. Like,
he does.
You look at his resume.
And he will be back soon. That I can tell you.
Talking about be back soon. When are we going to see Brian Lua or Gabriel Flores or Andy Vincent or
any of the three of them in the ring together?
Yeah, well, that'd be a good tournament.
Royal Rumble. No, listen, I think end of this year, early 2021. We'll see them all back in action.
Let's go.
There you go. Because I know in October, man, you guys got the monster coming down to the States.
Saturday night.
It's Saturday night.
Plus.
That's right. And see, you guys ain't afraid to go head to head with other networks.
No.
Because you have your faithful ones.
It's just different.
Evan, my man, Evan.
Take the cups off, Evan. Let's go.
Evan, put the cup of coffee down. Forget you got a master's degree, and just be Evan. I want to have a beer with you one day in the garage.
No, sometimes they're just both networks have a whole lot of date, and that's what happens. It's not our rival has a show. We have a show. We'll do our best to put on a great show, as will they.
Yeah.
And I hope the fans enjoy our show on ESPN Plus. Diplomacy 101, Richie. Come on.
Nay, I hear you, man. I hear you. A man in your position got to be real careful, dot the I's and cross the T's. But one day we're gonna have a beer in your garage, man, and you're gonna loosen up, and you're just gonna spill, my man.
Darn right. You know that. Come on, Richie. Next time you have to, don't put the, when the mic or the metaphorical mic's not in my face, I'll open up a little bit for sure.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
In all honesty, this is no BS, no publicist BS. They're working hard to put on a show, so are we. And quality control is our efforts, and we hope as many fans as possible tune into what we put together, which is a great show with In a Way against Jason Maloney and Michaela Mayer challenging for her first world title, and some real solid young guys who which we're going to announce the next day or two. They're going to be on the card, so we're confident that we have an excellent show that boxing fans will like.
Exactly. I'll tell you one fight before I let you go, because we're almost at that mark. I'm looking forward to the rematch, Joshua Franco and Maloney, man. I'm looking forward to these little guys share the ring again with big heavyweight hearts, because they bring it. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait for that fight to take place.
That's one of the fights I'm most excited for. I think Andrew Maloney's got a hell of a lot to prove, and I think Andrew Maloney you saw in the first fight with Joshua Franco is not indicative of the fighter he is, and I expect him to regain his world title and to show everybody that the first fight wasn't him. And I truly believe that. So that'll be underneath Terrence Crawford Kellbrook on ESPN November 14th, and it's going to be one hell of a fight.
Yeah.
Exactly, man, because let's not forget, you got German and Cajas floating out there. Now, he would definitely get these guys... what was that?
Hopefully he'll be back soon too. Yeah, I think he's back in the country. So yeah.
No, yes, he is. I mean, Sean Gibbons, man. I mean, he's keeping him busy, man, and he got some ready to go. But no, I like German. Nice guy, man.
Last time I seen him, it was in my hometown, Stockton,
right? California.
He put on the show.
He did. And Gabriel Flores put on the show. That knockout.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. So nice.
So let me ask you this, man, and I'm going to let you go. You know, on your leisure time, I know you're going to want to know who's winning this fight. What's your take on Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz?
My take is that whoever wins that fight will be no better than the second best lightweight in the world. Okay,
that's the answer to say. You're in there deep, man. I want to be in there deep, man. Yeah. I mean, I either want to. I want to be rooted.
Listen. It's a solid matchup. That is, solid matchup. Good luck to them on their show. But they're fighting lightweight and I don't know, the 2 weight classes, 2 belts on whatever the heck that is. All I know is that the best lightweight in the world is now Teofimo Lopez. Right. And the second best lightweight in the world is Vasily Lomachenko. Not much I can tell you.
Damn. All right.
Well, I won't argue with that. I just wanted to see if you were a betting man, how do you see the fight progressing between a bull? I mean, they call him Tank for a reason, and then you have Leo Santa Cruz, who's a veteran and just knows how to box in the later rounds. So
Gervonta Davis said he'll be ready for Lomachenko in 2022. Teofimo Lopez was ready for him in 2020, and that's why he's the most talked about fighter in boxing today, because he took that chance.
That's right.
No, exactly. And you know what? Hats off to his dad. His dad also took a chance. He took a risk. He called the shots and he just went for it. But you know what? He knew Top Rank Boxing was going to believe in him and give him that opportunity. The opportunity was there, and he's the one shining right now.
Yeah, 100%. We're so proud of what Teofimo and his father have accomplished. They really, good people, and they deserve everything they receive.
You know who I want to get? Honestly, and you may think I'm crazy. If I had a chance to get Teofimo on here with the dad, it'd be a tough pick, because the dad would just go to town, man. And I'm curious. I'm interested to see what he's going to say. What's his next move? Right. Because he wants to let the world know.
Listen, he called it. He can just sit back and let everybody say that he's right.
Yeah, hey, soak it all up, man. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
100%.
Evan, I'm going to let you go, but I'm going to let Shelly ask one of these questions, man, because it's up his sleeve right now. I know he has something good.
Talk to me, Shelly.
Man, I'm good right now, Evan. You answered everything, dude. I'm over here. I'm just waiting to see how this stuff unfolds, man. We got Davis fighting.
You and I both, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
nothing would surprise me.
And then, like you said, he asked you about Tank, right? How do you feel really about Haney fighting Gamboa? Like, what's that situation to you from a PR standpoint?
I'll let my silence speak.
Sometimes that answers everything right there. That answers a lot and clarifies a lot.
That's why I said, hey, Teofimo changed boxing.
He did.
Yeah, and give it up. Mikey Garcia started this shit.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yes, he did.
And then I'll give it up to Tyson Fury too, because he did the same.
Oh
thing.
My gosh.
Wow. Hey, Tyson Fury's another one. He talks the talk and walks the walk. Nobody.
That's the face of boxing. They want to say Canelo. I mean, let's not forget about Tyson Fury.
Teofimo, Mikey Garcia stepped up to Spence. There's people that will do it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Oh, you know what? That's the illustration I wanted to use. you know, I want to give more respect to Lomachenko, man, because the way he stepped up 2 weight classes is like when Mikey Garcia dared himself to be great.
That's right.
He went up 2 weight classes.
Listen, Loma was never full fledged lightweight, but he was still a hell of a lightweight. And Teofimo did what he had to do, and it was a hell of a fight.
Well, I'm liking the new Teofimo. Now, he's not holding back. At that press conference, he let the world know. He put some light on the sport.
Right.
Where he said what a lot of people are not in a position to say or just flat out afraid to say because they're rooted with a different network. But he let everybody know, this is how I feel, and so be it.
No, he called a shot, man, and you know, I have so much admiration for Loma, and I feel, you know, I feel for him, but I'm also so very proud of Teofimo and what him and his father have accomplished. So it's sort of a dual thing on the day after a big fight like that.
Well, shit, Top Rank got a new star that's gonna make everybody's job easy.
Oh, well, they do got a new star, man.
Because everybody's tuning in.
New superstar, 100%.
Yeah, you put his name in the lights, they tuning in. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
But so is his dad.
Oh,
his dad. I mean, and he's making it work here too, and he's keeping it real. You know, somebody had asked during that interview because he said, "So what do you think about Teofimo being mortal?" I go, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Well, you know, when they spoke about his dad, he shed a tear or two." I said, "That's good because he released exactly what he was feeling." Now, I said when he did that, there's other fathers that are going to correct themselves,
Like
or
what?
other kids are going to say, "I know exactly what you're going through," and this interview was helping me.
Yeah, it's like the Ball family, right?
Oh my gosh, the Ball family, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the Ball
It's
family.
like the Ball family, but Teofimo's dad called the shit, man.
He did.
He's on fire.
He
man.
did, and you know the way that ended right there.
Yeah.
So I mean, and Evan, man, I mean, I'm gonna let you go, and I keep saying that because I'm doing that. And as I'm doing it, I'm keeping you on the line, man. But listen,
No worries.
But listen. First of all, you're a hard picture to pull from because I'm looking for some pictures. I'm thinking, is this guy like Bigfoot? He doesn't take pictures, or they're blurry, or
I'm not all about having a billion pictures of myself.
I understand that.
When Mike Tyson's there, you take a picture of them. Otherwise,
There you go.
post very little.
He's paid.
Personal life, you know, try to keep
KP on the
personal
money.
life, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean you got to jump on that. So I'm glad that you got a picture with the fighter's voice, man. The last time you were in Fresno, California.
Obviously, it's Mike Tyson, the fighter's voice. That's the only pictures I have online, pretty much, and maybe my LinkedIn profile. So there you go.
there you go,
thanks,
my man. All right, man. So I'm gonna ask you what kind of beer you drink. So when I see, I'm gonna send you one.
What kind of beer do I drink? I don't really drink. I'm a hard cider guy. So bring down any sort of hard cider. I'm good.
All right, cool. We got you.
All right, man. Hey, any more marathons are you going to be training for?
Well, there's no. COVID has sort of scuttled the major races, so I'm running, but no races for now. But I promise you, next time I'm in Fresno, we will chop it up in studio. All right?
Cool. Sounds good, man. Hey, man, and we'll talk later on, man. Send me some of those names. Where the platform for the fighter, and you know what? We give the fighter a voice. Remember, every fighter has a voice, and so do you. You did. You knocked it out tonight, Evan. I appreciate your time. I mean, you never turn me down. You're always grounded, and you know what?
I never will, Richie. I never will. Come on.
Well, I appreciate that because once this virus ends, man, hey, I'm getting ready to just
listen. Back to the Central Valley we come. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
Exactly. Enough said right there, man. You got anything for him before I let him go?
Nah, I'm all good, man. Thank you. It was a pleasure to meet you over the mic, but I'll see you in person one day, man.
Yeah, and once
next time, man. We'll see you then. And Richie, I will talk to you soon. Always a pleasure, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey, the pleasure's all mine. Once again, congratulations on a great job, top-ranked team itself, and that came from 2 Hall of Famers today, man. So keep up the good work. We'll be talking later on. Have a good evening,
Thanks,
my man.
Richie.
You got it.
Talk to you soon, brother.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. I like him because he keeps it real. You never know what he's going to say. You never know what he's thinking. But he's definitely rooted in Top Rank. I mean, and when I say that, he takes pride because he knows, according to him, he's like Teofimo's dad. We're the best around, and everybody else is there to take second and third.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then he even addressed it. Like you said, it was like, there's dual events going on. And he was like, I'm not worried about what they're doing.
Exactly.
And that's how you got to be, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he said they're fighting for second and third place because we have the best.
That's it.
We have the guy. And you know what? I like the fact that Teofimo, he's accepting and acknowledging the new star. Right. He's not making excuses. There's no politics here saying, well, they're going to have a rematch. No, he's not saying any of that. Yeah. It is what it is. The man called it. And it fell into place.
Yeah, and that's and the biggest thing when I seen that press conference afterwards, man, he was just like, they talked to him about a rematch. He said no. He said why?
Exactly.
He said
I would have beat him.
Yeah, he said they didn't want to set it up for me, which tells you like in him and his father's mind, they were basically, they took the shit into the stick.
That's that 50-50 works for you or against you.
Exactly. But if you know what you're going to do, that shit shouldn't matter.
Because he holds a belt too.
Right, exactly. And everybody wants to get to negotiations and shit and talk and want to be treated as if they're already the champion.
Yeah.
And they said, fuck it, just give me the opportunity, and they ran with it.
That's all he wants.
That's all, and that's what he got.
And you know what? And talking about ran with it, man. I mean, he's the man right now.
He's the man.
And what he says is gold.
The man, I got a house being built, got the gym getting put into my house so I can stay working out. See, and that right there. And then he touched on some stuff that I really like too, man. He was just like, I worked for this. It's like a lot of young boxers, they were already trying to be the man. They got chains on, they got all this stuff like that. He said he did none of that. He said he stayed working, and look at where he's at.
Every time I bumped into him, he's in street clothes, man, and he's in jeans, a T-shirt, and a baseball cap.
Same thing.
And he always gives respect to all the fighters that I bring up, instead of saying, oh, he don't want none, or we're doing this and that, especially because I always bring up Jose Ramirez.
Right.
And he'll say, oh, I got nothing but respect for Jose. He goes, that'd be a good fight, you know, what he brings to the table. You know, I've also mentioned some other fighters there, and even though he knows he can beat him, he always, hey, he's a throwback, man. He's all about respect.
Right.
He's never disrespected the mic or the platform whenever I interviewed him, and he's a good kid, man. I mean, 23 years old.
Yeah, no,
the world is
solid.
his.
He's solid, man. I actually got I got some footage from, I think, a couple years ago. Jose Ramirez was fighting here at the Save Bar Center. Me and Teofimo was in the back, man. I did like an interview with him, and actually, I'm gonna send you the footage tomorrow.
Please do,
so we can post that. But everything that he said to me that day when we're sitting in the back talking, I've watched this dude do it. You know what I mean? And like that shit to me is like, it's just different because some people, everyone talks, especially in a sport like this that's competitive. No one tries to show a level of weakness, right?
No.
But eventually that shit's gonna catch up to you because you are what you are in this sport. You know what I mean? You can't talk yourself to be greater.
You still got to deliver. Listen, I gave you the interview. I gave you the job. Now let's see what you do with the job.
That's right. That's
because was it smack talking or are you really down to bring it?
Dude, all he wanted was the platform.
The opportunity.
That's huge.
Yep.
That's it. Put me in the ring. Not talk shit on this dude. Put me in the ring with him. Who else does that right now?
Nobody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, well, there's a lot of people talking it, but they're not walking it.
They're not walking it.
And they're not getting the opportunity because, you know, Senior, he, like you said, he took the risk. He took the chance. They could have shut this dude down. They could have said, we don't want him around. But he didn't get violent or anything or obnoxious with the crowd or the fans.
Right.
He believed in his son. He said, nobody can touch my son in 135s, 140s, or 147s.
Yeah, and I think that just a special relationship there, man. There's a lot of good father and son relationships in sports that are incredible. And and this is another one.
This is another one, and right now, this is the one that's shining.
Yeah.
It really is. And that's not disrespecting or taking away. It's just a matter of getting the opportunity, and the time will come. And once the lights come on, let's see how they perform when their back is against the wall. When I say that, it's because he was the underdog going in.
Yeah.
And he definitely stepped up.
And I seen them odds were crazy, too.
Oh, they were crazy.
They were crazy, man.
Speaking of crazy, I mean, Floyd Mayweather made some money, and that was a true bet.
Even Floyd posted that. That lets you, but see,
Floyd could make those bets because he could afford to lose.
No, he long, but also what that showed me, too, is like, damn, Floyd put money on him. You get what I'm saying? So if you got someone great like that watching with his eye, what's that tell you?
Exactly.
Everybody else can say what they want to. Floyd was like, I'm going this route.
Yeah. And
that's huge. And then for me, like I said, and Teofimo just won all the belts, and he's already calling out all the other people that think they're going to be great. Like, they're lined up to be great. He's like, nah, make it happen right now. I don't got to wait 2 years for a super fight. I'll knock y'all down as you come.
No, exactly. Exactly. Let's not wait.
Yeah.
Because let's make this happen. Now he's going to have the support of Top Rank Boxing.
Oh, man.
I just, I don't think he's going to, this is me personally, I don't think he's going to move up to 140 right away because he deserves to walk in the ring with all four belts and say, look, somebody I'm going to give someone the opportunity to try to take what I got.
And then also, man, I think, there's a lot of young fighters. I say knock them down and then let them earn their way to work their way back up to where he's at. If he's going to be the man that way, knock him down and teach him a lesson. I mean, we've seen that. Like me and you talk about it all the time on the phone.
Yeah.
Floyd caught Canelo at the perfect time.
Of course he did. That was smart.
He caught his ass at the perfect time because that's a different fight now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's an age difference. That's just something that I can wish on that it never happened. But I think that Teofimo, okay, you guys are names, let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, he's 23. It ain't like he's picking it from the cradle.
He can say, I want bring me all the O's.
That's
Line them all up.
Line them up.
With no losses. I want them all.
Everybody you think is a star right now, put them in front of me.
Yeah, exactly.
And at the same time, for those dudes, you guys don't want this spotlight?
You know what? You can't afford to turn down a fight with Teofimo. Whether you think you're ready or not, you need to take it.
You got to take it.
You got to take it because dare yourself to be great. That's why you lace them up. That's why you go jogging. That's why you have a manager, a trainer, etc.
Yeah, for me, I would wish like a lot of boxers would get that whole like 50-0 out of their head and just focus on your legacy and what you do. Because I'd have the same respect for a guy that just went 30-0.
Absolutely.
But just laid everything down, laid it out there, had a great career, and left, healthy, successul, happy.
Don't put pressure on yourself. Start thinking, I'm going to get to 50-0. I mean, that's just.
I mean, come on, man. Look what this shit's done to LeBron's hairline. Thinking about Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit. Like, bro, you gotta do something.
Well, he needs to start thinking of Kobe because that's the order I got. I got Jordan, I got Kobe, and then I got LeBron.
And I seen those two. And I seen those two cats. You know what I'm saying? With my own eyes. I was like, I love LeBron. I always did. Just switching sports, but man, if you grew up watching Jordan and Kobe, you just gotta know.
Jordan could just tell him who made you play good. Who did you watch?
Whose number you wearing, dog?
Yeah, exactly. Enough said.
Hey, come on, man.
Enough said.
Yeah, all he got to do is stick his tongue out. That's it. Other than that, we know who you're trying to be.
And put on his hands.
Yeah, that's why I gave it up to Kobe, man. Kobe said,
exactly, because you got Nike and then you got Jumpman.
Yeah, that's yeah, bro.
Yeah, and I'll take Jumpman all day.
All day.
I mean, I'll rock Nike too, but I'll take Jumpman all day.
That's what's up, dude.
Because he can make decisions like that and he can make it happen, man. Evan didn't want to touch on it, man. We're going to touch on it. Tank Davis, man. I mean, they don't call him Tank for no reason.
No.
And then you got Leo Santa Cruz.
Right.
We all know what he can do. We know the wars that he's been in, but he's never been hit as hard as Tank Davis hits. And you were talking about a naturally bigger man. And I mean, his neck itself, just his bone structure.
Right.
He's like a baby Tyson.
He's a baby Tyson, and that's what I'm afraid of too. With Leo, respectively, man. But like, Leo likes to mix it up. Yeah. And that means somebody gonna get caught.
He's gonna have, I can't see him sitting in the pocket. Not till
that shit gonna be, man. Like it's one of those feel good, feel bad.
Yeah.
Like I want to see Tank be great the way he is. But it's like,
what do you see Leo if you see him boxing in the early rounds? And I'm saying, okay, great game plan.
Right.
Try to take him in, see how he took the weight off, and see if he still has a strength in the second half of the fight.
Right.
But Tank's not aiming. He knows, hey, I don't want to. This guy's very experienced. I respect him.
Right.
In the second half of the fight, he's not afraid to go to war.
I think I just seen Tank on the scale though recently. Yeah. He's already within weight range.
Yeah.
And I think before Tank was celebrating a little too much, you know what I'm saying, the past couple fights, and I think that's where people got distracted with this dude's skill set.
Well, he knows what this fight means, especially with Teofimo.
Right.
I mean, he has a game plan. He's thinking, okay, I'm going to take care of this, what's in front of me,
right,
and then I'm going to grab the mic, the platform, and we're going to make it happen.
Same thing with Ryan, with Campbell. I mean,
yeah,
all these dudes in that weight class got some big shit.
A lot of people say a lot of bad things about Ryan, that he doesn't have the skill set, and I think half of it is jealousy, because probably, and let's keep it real, probably the old lady checks him out, and that's what it is. But the man has a wicked left hook, a wicked left hook.
Say what you want. Until he gets stopped, he can do what he wants. You guys can say what you want.
Hey, he's doing good for himself. Shelly, we're talking about the younger generation, man. I mean, right, we left out the Brian Lewis, the Gabriel Flores Jr., who you're very close to. You were with their camp from day one, and also Shakur Stevenson. Man, and that's a fight I'd like to see take place. I didn't get a chance to mention it to Evan because I'm gonna let Evan breathe. I think I caught him right afterwards, man. But it's okay. I'm gonna love to see Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson.
Man, hey, now that would line that up.
Oh man, I mentioned to Robert Garcia last week on the show, and he was like, "Shoot, let's make it happen today."
Technical as shit, right there.
Exactly.
Perfectly technical fight. Yeah. Shakur would jump at it right away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right away.
Absolutely. Because he left a bout behind because he wants to dare himself to be great.
And that's another one. Mm-hmm. Straight up. He won it.
Oh, he's a dog.
He's a dog, man.
He is.
It's a few of them.
It's a different pedigree, man.
It is. It's a few of them that got that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then a lot of them, I think the difference is too, a lot of these young fighters get successful real early, but they also got social media. So they get constant attention every day, and their shit gets to build organically.
Exactly.
Where before you had to like clearly prove yourself in the ring, and people might have seen you like 3 times a year or twice a year. You know what I mean? It's different.
You know what social media does? And I don't want to I'll call him a fan. I don't want to not call him a boxing fan. You had Berlango, man, Edgar. And there was people on social media saying, okay, Canelo don't want none. Benavidez don't want none. Shit. They get caught up in the hype. Man. Okay, we're talking about, I like those guys, man. But I mean, let's be realistic. I'm thinking, okay, not right now, not today.
Right.
I mean, they can't even be mentioned right now. But this kid is something special. And, I was talking to a Hall of Fame matchmaker today, and he said, Richard, he needs to go round. No, I'm sorry, publicist. I was talking to Lee Samuels today, and he said, Richard, he needs to go rounds. We're going to make that move, and he needs to go a couple rounds. Mm-hmm. It's time for him to grow.
Right. No, and I believe so too. I mean, we don't really see what fighters got until they got to dig deep.
Yeah, exactly.
Until they're put into
But
some
it's not
type of
only that.
controversy.
He was so confident on his skill set.
Yeah.
He said he still has more to show on his boxing ability, his ring generalship, moving around, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, me too.
He's not hiding anything.
No. No. And then, I mean, shit, what can we do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Evan just told us, like, we're putting them in there. We're competitors, so we think.
Evan's a straight shooter, man.
Yeah, so we think.
I dig that dude.
Yeah, he said we put him in somewhere nowhere has been knocked down, never been knocked
Yeah.
out, and then he cleans him up in the first round.
Yeah.
So now what? Now you got to go to, like, the board and start pulling in.
I know. What are you going to say, Tyson? I mean, would you tell Mike Tyson, no, don't do that?
Right.
What?
Yeah.
You trained me for this.
That's
and
right.
if you put this guy in front of me, I'm going to take him out. I mean, what am I supposed to carry? I'm not good.
And
That's
I've
not the way I'm trained.
And, you know, and I always told you that, man. You know, that's one thing people are like, oh, I want to see him go to distance. But,
Yeah.
man, at the same time, I'm talking about preserving these fighters' health.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I had a hammer like that, I'm dropping your ass. For the sole fact that the
Absolutely.
less rounds that I go, the less damage that I take, and the less I'm conflicted to possibly get hit with some shit that I didn't see.
Yeah.
So if I can clean you up, I'm going to end it. And if I can clean it up, I don't get no whack-ass scorecards. It's a lot of things.
Oh man, you can't trust those scorecards.
Come on.
I mean, the only thing I see of someone carrying somebody, and let's keep it real, man. Money Mayweather, and he gave everybody, Conor McGregor, and he was getting ready to carry that kid in China.
Right.
And I was talking to a buddy of mine, ring announcer, Ramblin' Ralph. He noticed it too, and that was the plan. He was going to carry him, but that dude landed a left hook with everything on it, and Floyd said, "Okay, hold on a second.
Yep.
I'm the money man here. You jacked up.
Yeah.
Respect your elders and respect. First of all, I gave you the opportunity to share the ring with me. Got him out of there in moments, seconds later.
And then I went to YouTube and started watching this kid as a fighter, and I was like, damn, he's badass at that level.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you got up to Floyd.
Floyd made him a star.
Yeah, he did.
Floyd made him a
That kid
star.
does some interesting
Look at
stuff.
Canelo after that.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, but you know how I feel about that Canelo stuff.
Yeah.
Man, that that was the best thing that ever happened to Canelo. That was the best L anyone in boxing has ever taken.
I'm going to go on record right now and say this, Shelly, and he doesn't fight like your normal Mexican fighter.
No, he doesn't. He actually fights like Floyd.
He actually fights like Floyd. And there's nothing wrong with being a boxer puncher.
No.
Longevity, and he's another one who's in charge of his career. He doesn't have to say, I'm the face of boxing. We do it.
Man, I just seen him. What was it? A couple weeks ago. Who was it? Oscar Valdez?
Oh yes,
I think they were. I think they were.
Yeah, they were
sparring.
sparring.
Yeah, but I was just watching Canelo on the ropes and how he was moving, and you know what I'm saying. And it's like he got after that Floyd fight. That dude got so much smarter with his movement and his ring IQ. I think he sat there and watched how he got beat, and he was like, "I'm gonna beat everybody's ass like that."
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? I see a lot of, when I see him, I see a lot. He's definitely did his homework because I see a lot of flashes of different fighters. I'm thinking, okay, he took some Chavez out. He took some Floyd out. He even took some Tommy Hearns out. He took some Mike Tyson out.
Yeah, he's been had that hand.
Yeah,
You see
definitely.
his jabs to the body are crazy now. You know what I mean? His shoulder rolls, the way he spins.
As
soon as he touches the ropes, you see
the
Canelo, he
Theophimo's
knows
right
exactly
hand
where
to the
go.
body. My gosh, I was loving it.
Yeah.
I'm excited because we got to see a different Theophimo Lopez.
Yeah, and I think
it wasn't the knockout assassin.
It opened everyone's eyes. He wasn't
It did.
spinning around throwing back punches. And
He's
shit
no
like
longer
that.
one-dimensional.
Nah.
None of this. Get him to the second half of the fight. You're no longer going to have that conversation. I want to see how he reacts once he gets hit. And he looked more surprised than hurt.
Yeah, he did. And then when he said, I think I seen him was an interview afterwards. He was just like, no. He was like, no, I kind of backed off a little bit to let him gas back out. And then I went at it and I was thinking like, damn, if he really did do that.
Well, he refused to let him dominate around because he was tired. Even the announcer saying he's tired, he's hurt. He bit down. He said, no, I'm not giving you anything. And you're going to take it.
And he took the shots he did take clean.
Yeah.
Like a man. I never, you know what I'm saying? I haven't seen him get hit that clean before. And I was like wondering what Teofimo would. I mean, it was that one fight. I can't think of the guy's name. I think it was a fighter, an Asian fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think
what happened in the round right afterwards?
Yeah, exactly. And it was a lot of turmoil in his life like that.
Yeah.
And we can all admit, like we all know life happens and it affects your mind and clarity and shit like that. But like now that this dude is focused.
Well, I mean, listen, 23 years old. A buddy of mine says, look at he's nervous. He's pacing in the. Of course, you got to get the jitters out, man. I mean, every fight, Mike Tyson gets nervous.
Yeah.
He just handles it differently. He starts punching the wall, starts biting down on his nails. I mean, people act differently. The big event. And what did you see? His eyes were wide open. He was dialed in, and he was focused.
As soon as he was. And then, everybody was using, like, the press conference and stuff that beforehand and things like that when they met up. But, dude, you got to understand, even with Loma in the camp, culturally where they're from, these people are cold stone. You know what I'm saying? They're not emotional shit. Americans, we're very exaggerated, except for Tyson Fury. That's the most out there dude. You know what I'm saying? But, like...
Tyson Fury's a crossover.
He's different.
He can adapt. When he fought on Cinco de Mayo and came in with mariachis, had the Mexican flag, talking in Spanish.
Come on, man. Singing and shit. He don't need no PR. He don't need
And you know who he calls out of the blue? There's a video out there, and he's calling Teofimo Lopez. He goes, "What's up?" And they're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
before he was even champion, before the Lomachenko fight. Because as soon as he hung the phone up, they asked him, "Hey, do you think he can? What about him, Lomachenko?" And he said, "My money's on this guy." He goes, "That'd be a good fight."
Right.
He goes, "My money's on this guy. I like him."
See?
That's why when I interviewed Teofimo, when I went down to Las Vegas, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. He was the only one that predicted it. He's the only one that says, "Okay, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb here." He goes, "I got Tyson Fury by knockout."
Right.
And I remember there's a guy behind him. He goes, "Oh shit!" The soundbite's still on there.
Yeah.
But he said it, and now you know
Right,
why.
yeah.
They got each other's back, man.
No, that's
Iron
cool. That's
sharpens
dope.
iron.
It does, man. And then maybe just people recognize game too. Maybe people on those levels that say, hey, I'm gonna do this, and they actually do that shit. They can see it in each other's eyes. You know what I mean?
You know exactly.
Yeah.
Besides the rivalry, but iron sharpens iron. With Top Rank, they are a knitted family, man. When it comes to them fighting each other.
Yeah.
But see, now they're big enough where they're going to fight outside of Top Rank, of
have
course,
to.
because of course. But they have the ammo there. And PVC, they got all the welterweights there. They got some dogs at 147.
PVC got dogs over there, man.
They really do.
You can't do nothing, man. I mean,
No,
shit, and even
man.
speaking of that, man, the people at PBC I want to see the most, I think that are most deserving is the twins. They need
Oh,
to,
absolutely. I'm glad you brought them
the
up.
twins need to get whatever fight they asked for. They didn't whoop everybody's ass. They did exactly what they said they're gonna do. Every time I see them, they're always.
I want to see the
training,
future,
always in shape.
the future boxing twin against Triple G. No
You
ifs,
have
no
to.
buts.
Just-
Make that happen. Triple G's not going to turn down a
he's not
title
gonna turn
shot.
down. No, just
the
give him,
WBC.
yeah, give him the fight.
160.
Yeah, that's right.
Make
Yeah.
it happen.
Make it happen. So then that way, all the other big fights he want can happen. Put him
Charles
in there.
Conwell, I want to see him take the other twin on at 154s.
Make it right.
Make it happen.
Make it
I
happen.
know you're listening, Lukey, and I know Roshan Jones, I know you're listening to that. You're like, yeah, my phone is ready to ring. That would be a great, exciting fight.
I
It
can't,
would happen.
man. I can't say nothing about the twins. Nothing.
Hey, man, they stepped up to the plate.
Yeah.
They need to be on the same level as everybody else with that opportunity.
I mean, yeah, and even the 1L after
Yeah.
that, even that to me
Oh.
wasn't an L. But
that
when
made him better.
But what he came.
What
back
did
and
what did he do?
I did, and then I did go back and watch the fight on YouTube like a couple of times, and I could see what a boy
I'm
was
surprised they gave it to him like
I
that.
know,
There
just
wasn't anything.
surprised, man. I
There
was
wasn't
like, nah.
anything that transitioned it to show the public
Nah.
like he got beat.
Hell no.
It's just the haters. They're like, come on, he got beat, bro. That's the way
And
the way
you-
the scorecards were read.
And Harrison's dope, great countering defense
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But even when I watched it, I could see a little bit of what they might have seen, but I still didn't agree with that shit. You know what I mean?
I think they got caught up because somebody fought him back.
Right.
There was a level of competition. Now,
Yeah,
did he
yeah.
lose? No, I didn't see anything to justify him getting that L there.
Yeah, but I mean, he proved that shit the next
Well,
fight.
that's what true champions do.
And that's what you do. You said, "No, I want this back." You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then even when he was going through all the stuff with no boy, like I don't know. If there's
Shell,
that
you've
injury or
always been
something.
high on the twins.
Yeah.
Since day one.
Yep.
What made you? What did you see in them before everybody else started to? And it's okay because fans do that. They call it the bandwagon, but I call it the support system. Now they're supporting and now they're believing in them. What did you see from the get go?
Same shit I seen in Teofimo. Same shit. Everything they said they did. And some people get tired of people running their mouths and doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. And then you know what people do? They be like, okay, this time he's not going to be able to do that. And then he does it again. They be like, wait. And this time he's not going to be able to do every fucking thing they said, dude. I'm like, I can't. And then the conditioning.
We got the screen right there. Yeah.
The conditioning, phenomenal. When you get in the ring and it's just like, they're flashy, but dude, they're so technically sound. When you watch that shit, you can get boxing. You watch it, if you understand boxing, they're so technically sound.
They are.
Their athleticism, that's what makes them special.
Exactly.
But they don't use that shit all the time. They use it when, okay, you get wobbly, you get an athletic
Yeah.
ass whooping.
Yeah.
You go and catch some shit from the stands,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But when they're in there, they straight down the pipe. I was like, I used to love, what the fuck was his name? Because I'm over here thinking too much. I'll catch you on the Trinidad.
Yeah.
Okay, so when they're in their stance, it reminds me of like Trinidad. But when they let them hands go, that shit's special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trinidad always was springboard with his jabs and just his up and down movement, man. And
Yeah.
Trinidad is very, very special, man. Very special. Since we're talking about PVC, man, I want to give a big shout out to Callie Swanson, my girl. She's making it happen, man. PVC. She has a great team there, and she does not shy away from being great. The publicist of Floyd Money Mayweather, man.
Right.
Doesn't get any bigger than that.
No,
Can you
no.
imagine handling him or trying to handle him? Nobody handles him because she said, Richard, you don't know how many times, hey, I'm 10 minutes late, 5 minutes. No, when you're 3 hours late, I'm Money Mayweather.
I'm money.
I'm Money Mayweather.
Pretty boy
But
Floyd
everybody
Money,
that was
yeah.
there waiting started laughing and had a great time when he left and when he was there because he brings that energy.
He brings here's that charisma, man. PBC's dope, though.
Well, yes, they are.
Jumping to that, though.
Big shout out to Ray Flores,
Yeah.
ring announcer. man, he has that voice too. I always tell him, he reminds me of Eminem, not a rap sense, but he hits all his syllables.
Yeah,
his floors is boom.
Right, Eminem's cold. Man, Spence is coming back. It's
Spence,
it's been a year since the accident.
Yeah.
Garcia's in there, like, your heart. What do you really think is gonna happen?
You know what? It's not what we're expecting from Spence. I want to see what Danny Swift Garcia brings to the table, because he could have said, no, I don't want that fight, or no, and I think it's going to be. You know what? I don't know, because of what he's come back from. I mean, nobody knew what Vinny Pazienda was going to do once he broke his back and his neck,
right.
How he was going to look in the ring, and he was able to walk again and do everything that he needed to do to be successful. Even won another world title and had 3 fights with Roberto Duran afterwards, and got some movie after him. Now Spence, I want to remember him as the old Spence. But I want to know, did something get shooken up in there? Is everything okay with him? He took a long enough layoff to do so.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be okay. Maybe a little bit of ring rust, but I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, see, he posted that picture not too long. It was like on the anniversary of the accident, and then I think it was
went public with it, because that picture was hard to find. He kept all that.
Yeah, he kept all that. And that was the first time you actually see his injuries like in that pure state, like when the shit just happened. You know what I mean? But I've been listening to that man talk, dude, and I think, like, sometimes things happen in life that slow your ass down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was refocused, because even when he was fighting Mark Garcia and other people like that, we kind of seen Spence where, like, he got to the point where he knew how good he was.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get that Kell Brook Spence back. That shit, that dude that's focused.
Yeah.
And that's a goddamn problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I know Garcia, man, his left hook is incredible. It has been incredible for him for the past and stuff like that. But I've never seen anybody attack Spence. I've never seen nobody be successful except for Sean Porter, but that's a different kind of dog. That dude comes, like, that dude's that's a linebacker.
Well, that answered a lot of questions when he fought Sean Porter, how he would do in an alley fight.
He fights everybody. When he fought Porter, I seen him fight him to Porter style and beat him at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then when he fought
It wasn't pretty, it wasn't crisp.
And when he fought Mikey, I seen 2 very technical fighters fighting, but he fought Mikey at his style and beat him at it.
Yeah.
So now you got somebody like Dana Garcia that's going, like, what are you going to wait to counter if this man's all over your ass?
Exactly. And let's get back to when he fought. He fought Mikey when he couldn't find an opponent. Nobody wanted to fight him. Mikey said, you know what? Hey, line him up. I'll take him on.
Right.
Let's do this.
Right.
Let's do. I mean, he even went on the ill advice of those closest to him.
Yeah.
But he said, no, I believe in myself. When you're undefeated and you do things your whole life that people said you couldn't do, one is be a free agent. Another man standing in front of you, man, he's not going to stop you, according to yourself.
And see, and then speaking of that too, like, shit, what if like, like Spence has been successful at everything he said he's going to do. And now he survived this car accident. Man, this dude might think he's invincible.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? He's been
him
blessed,
not having a seatbelt saved
like
his
he
life.
always talk about his daughters and how he cleans shit up. And now he like, man, I could survive that shit. I'm whooping everybody. Ain't no harder hit than that.
Exactly. And to overcome that.
Yeah. And then shout out to Danny too, because Danny was still chasing him before all this happened. It ain't like Garcia said, okay, cool, I'm gonna take this fight now because he been in an accident and he had like a 14-month layoff. Nah, he signed up for this before this happened, because this would have happened in January of 2021, right?
Yeah.
So we shall see, man.
You know, it's funny you bring that up, because there's a great sound bite, man. I'm not sure. Is it Ali? I think it might be Ali Setback. I'm not too sure, man. Shout out to Ali Setback, man. I sent him a text the other day about somebody sent me one of his videos. And before I posted it, because of the respect I have for him, I said, hey, do you mind if I share your video?
Yeah.
He said, absolutely. Thanks for asking.
Right.
There's a segment when Teofimo and his dad, and Teofimo Sr., they're talking to Angel, and they call him Crazy Angel Garcia and Danny Garcia. And he's telling him, yeah, our dads talk shit, man, and because they know this and that. And Danny goes, shit, I'm used to all this, man. He goes, I just show up to fight. That's my dad.
Right.
But to see them talk as if to say, hey, I know exactly what you're going through, and vice versa. And you see Teofimo's dad, Senior, he didn't let off the pedal. He is who he is in front of everybody, but he showed respect, shook their hand, and Angel did too.
Yeah.
He did too. He joked around actually with Teofimo. He said, if you don't listen to your dad, he's going to take you in the back and bring the belt out.
Yeah.
And he kept it real, man.
I think the most humble father and son combination has got to be Sean Porter and his dad, man. Always class, just
Hey,
quiet.
Sean Porter's dad has his back, though. He can still throw down. Look at that guy.
I think I just heard that he was sparring with him for the last fight.
No, I heard that he was just happened to pass by a while back at a restaurant, and someone tried to get brave, and he's saying, hold on a second. You have no idea who you're dealing with. And, enough said, cameras were turned off, but he's the type of dude you don't want to meet in a dark alley, man.
Nah, that's cool, man. That's good. Hey, man, that's a good influence and somebody to look up to.
Hey, man, that's that old man strength. They still got it.
Shit,
we still got
man,
it.
What
are you talking about?
He out there doing mitts with his son and shit. He know how to slip and jab. Come on, man. He's probably colder than shit.
Oh, man, yeah. No, exactly. And you know who can also relate to that is Timothy Bradley.
Right.
But,
yeah, that's right. That's right.
But then later on in their career, for whatever reason, they made some moves and they traveled. They chose to take their career elsewhere without having we're letting them be a supporter, but not in the corner.
You know what? And shout out Timothy Bradley too, man. I seen some like off the cuffs, behind the scenes stuff where Timothy Bradley was actually talking to Teofimo. You know? And he gave him that advice about like, still loving and respecting your father.
Yes, did you thank your father?
Personal and business, and you don't get his mindset and what he did to help you get there, but embrace that, because he has seen some things. And like sometimes in life, it takes time for you to understand someone's message to you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I think
he could identify with Teofimo was feeling. I don't want to say sad. I mean, there was something inside there. Yeah. And I had somebody close to me say, hey, do you think that shows weakness? I go, no. I go, Jesus wept. Right. I said, that's a release to him.
Hell yeah, it is, man. I mean, I had a small-ass experience with that, because I used to coach my son's soccer. And the last time I did, the last season, I stopped it because, like, I started finding I was taking my coaching home with us. Yeah. So, like, when my son had a shitty game, I was in a shitty mood.
Been there, done that.
I was like, you know what? I don't want to coach him no more. I just want to be his dad. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't separate it because I seen so much potential in him that I was like, and I knew my son. You know what I mean? I knew his core and shit, but it wasn't about me. And that's what I was making it. So I stopped coaching my son a long time ago.
Well, smart move you did.
Yeah, and that was
and it takes a big man to do that.
Yeah, because at that point I understood his talent. Yeah, and it wasn't about that. It was about loving my son and embracing his talent and not trying to like control his talent. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I stepped away from that. And I think sometimes in a lot of relationships with fathers and son, you gotta, if that shit ain't working, you gotta let that go.
You have to.
Yeah,
you have to. We have to. Speaking of let that go, man, the show's about to close right now, but I got to give a shout out to Frank Stea, man, from Top Rank Boxing, and also I want to thank you, the viewers, the fans. We reached 1,000 subscribers, the YouTube subscribers. I want to thank you, man, and you followers, and it's been fun because a lot of you really enjoy the show, but I appreciate your honesty. That those that say, well, Richard, maybe you should do this or do that or what. Nevertheless, you're tuning in, and you know what? I appreciate you showing your support. So. Thank you. 1,000 subscribers, man. We'll take it, man. And don't forget, man, let's go for 2,000. That's www.youtube.com/thefightersvoice. Every fighter has a voice, and so do you. Shelly, take us home, my man.
Hey, man, I want to thank everybody. And again, I'm back on the show. Actually, I'll be on the show permanently now.
That's what I'm talking about.
So 1,000 subscribers, get it up. And then actually, you guys stay tuned, too. We're going to start adding some little mini docs to this. The first one I'm actually shooting is going to be with Andy Vince this weekend. So I start filming on Saturday.
El Tiburon.
That's right, El Tiburon. So I'll be with him this Saturday. You guys will be getting that episode real soon. So stay tuned. And it was a pleasure of mine to be on the show. And I'm happy to be here, my dude.
Hey, man, a pleasure's all. You know what? Let's do it on Brian Lua.
I'm with it.
I say let's. I'm going to call him. I'm going to call Al. I'm going to call you. Answer your phone, which is his manager.
All right, cool. I'm with it. Lua, look out for me, man. I just sent that little clip to him that we made before his fight. So it's all good, man. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, you know what? That's a whole conversation. That's another hour, man. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We got to get him in the studio.
Definitely sounds good, my man. Right. So I want to thank everybody out there, all the listeners, the viewers, the fans. I want to thank KP behind scenes, man. You don't know what this man goes through, what he prepares himself to do before the show. You just think you put the mic on and do all that. I mean, he's like one of those trainers, man. He's like one of those ambassadors, and we rub off on each other, man. The good vibes, real vibes. Nevertheless, what you see is what you get, and what you see. Hey, we didn't wake up to take second place. I'll tell you that, and take that to heart. Hey, it's a wrap here, Fresno, California, with my man Shelly Hollis. Thumbs up for Richie.
Never down for the count. It's just another wrap. Thanks for listening to the Fighter's Voice Radio Show. Catch us again next week. Same when, same how. And always stay connected to the Fighter's Voice on social media. So, on behalf of special guests and the whole crew right here at the Fighter's Voice Radio Show, saying see ya next week, right here on the Fighter's Voice.